Good morning, everybody. So I'm in the RV. I got my dogs out here with me. They are relaxing, waiting for me to put on a movie for them. I don't know why I got their kennel open right here. They rather be out instead of being inside their kennel. And those are dog dishes. And I am in the kitchen right now. So on the computer looking at some RV videos. I get inspired by other people's videos. But I'm cooking some sausage. Cooking myself some breakfast because my boyfriend is at work this morning. And then I gotta clean this bed. But I think I'm gonna sit back here and watch a movie. I started watching a good movie I got from Redbox last night, but fell asleep before it was over. So I gotta make sure that I do that. But as you guys can see, I just want to show you something. See what a tight space this is in the kitchen? There's like absolutely no room. I wish I had some type of pantry or something. And maybe eventually later I can add that somewhere. I don't know how, but you know, I got the fireplace in and I didn't think that could happen. So who knows? But I need a little bit more room here in the kitchen. Some kind of pantry or something. I mean, I love my fridge, nice size, but I'm telling you, I got this thing, we got this thing packed, full of food, as well as the kitchen inside, and the fridge inside the house. Freezers packed with food and ice cream. So, anyway, I want to show you a project that I was working on last night, and in this video, I'm going to show you some video footage of that. Let me turn this down low. But over here, I hung up the picture that I have, my RV that I took of the RV and smart car. And then that's a cartoon pic of me. And then back here, above the bed, like I told you guys last evening, I did put that picture there. Worked out nice. And then over here on this wall, I got the same pictures. And then here, I put that picture. I'll kind of go back so you guys can kind of get a view of my washer and dryer and my dirty clothes basket, but I decided just to stick a picture there. I thought it looked nice. So anyway, I'm gonna sit back here when my food's done and watch a movie under surround sound. It's gonna be so nice. So keep watching. Good morning, everybody. It's Kika. So I am sitting here in my RV and cooking breakfast. I actually made myself some sausages. I'm gonna do a little bit of grits right here, and then I have some eggs. And then I got my coffee on. I was doing a little video. I like watching RV videos. It gives me some inspiration of what I want to do next to my RV. But as you can see in the kitchen of your RV, it's pretty tight space. So if you have an RV or you're thinking about getting one, think about the kitchen area. Make sure you have enough counter room. I wish I had a pantry or something like that in here, but it's kind of crowded. And I have all of this kind of crowded, so what I'm thinking about doing is adding some extra shelves in there so I have more room. But that's full. I love the size of my fridge, but we fill it up with groceries, as you can see. So the fridge is full of groceries, and so is our freezer. So right now I'm relaxing in the RV. My boyfriend is at work, so I have my little dogs, Mickey and Minnie. And they think I'm going to watch a movie out here, but what I decided to do is cook my breakfast, and then I'm going to watch a movie back here in the bedroom. I want to show you something that I was working on yesterday. My project that I was working on yesterday. So it's all finished with my actual cartoon pictures and pictures of the RV and smart car in an actual picture frame. I love that. And so as we start traveling and taking more pictures, I'll be able to hang some pics on the fridge and different places. You really want your RV to look like it's lived in and comfortable. So when people come and visit you, it's an extension of your house, of your home. And so when people come visit you, or when you leave town and you're visiting other places, you really want it to be comfortable. And so speaking of that, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things that are essential for an RV. And it might be that you're not thinking about it just because you're in the process of purchasing your RV. So these are a few things and few added expenses that you're not really thinking about right now and you're thinking, oh, I'll do that later. But these are huge, huge things that I want to talk to you guys about, and I wish someone would have told me before I made my purchase, and then I could have been a little bit more prepared, because it's a lot more expensive than you think. It's a lot more than just buying the RV and then you're done. So, and it depends on what you want to use it for, if you're going to be full-time in it, if it's a weekend vacation, or what you're using it for. But I found that having all these essentials is important, because once you pay that cost on the forefront and you got all of that done and complete, it really makes life a lot easier later on when you're starting your traveling and all of that stuff in your RV. You don't have those extra worries. So keep watching. I'm gonna eat some breakfast, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to you about all of the essential things that will be excellent to have in your RV. Hey everybody, it's Kika, your lifestyle blogger. So I wanted to get back to you about the essential things that you may need in your RV. Now, this is not always something that people think about when they're going to purchase an RV, but these are things that do matter, especially depending on how you're going to use your RV. So I wanted to talk about a few things. Some of these things may apply to you, and some of these things may not. You can definitely customize it the way you want, pick and choose what's most important and what's least important. But I want to put the information out there because it's very helpful. And I didn't have anyone to really do that for me when I went to purchase my RV. And it was kind of a trial and error, and I learned as I went along. And I'm still learning and growing from that experience. I do like what I've done so far. Some things I do want to change. And what I've noticed and what I've come to grips with understanding is that an RV is just like owning a house. It's always going to be a work in progress. There's always something that's going to need to be done, going to need to be updated. And so it is what it is. The great part about that is it's on a smaller scale. So the cost is not as expensive as it would be for a house or something like that. But it is a mobile home. So that is the luxury of having a home and a house that is on wheels. And it's important that you keep those certain things up to date, probably more so than you would in a freestanding house. Because in a freestanding house, some of those things you may put off till you get the money or you get to it later. But in a mobile home, some of those things you absolutely cannot put off, because the wear and tear on those things would be disastrous if you just kind of let them go. So I want to talk to you about a few things. I probably didn't write down everything, but I try to write down as much as I possibly can, so that way we can kind of touch on each subject. The first and foremost thing is you want to think about, when you're buying an RV, how you're going to use that RV. Are you going to go to state parks? Are you going to dry camp, meaning not go to campgrounds? Maybe find some free camping somewhere. Maybe go to family's house, park outside of their house, or maybe in their yard or something like that. How you're going to utilize your RV. If you're thinking of doing a lot of camping, dry camping, where you're not hooked up to any hookups, it's free, you're in remote places, you're visiting family, you're parked at their house, those types of things, then you're going to want to think about things that'll make your RV more self-sufficient. So that way you can get around. For me personally, I like the idea of traveling in an RV and having a tow car, which is nicknamed Toad, T-O-A-D. For the simple fact is you don't have to rent a car and things like that. I know there's a lot of travelers out there and they absolutely love traveling by plane. I don't particularly care for that. Sometimes it's okay, but in my opinion, when you travel by plane and those routes, you miss so much. It really takes the fun out of having an actual vacation, because you're in a hurry to get there, and then you're in a hurry to get back, and then you're having somewhat fun, but then you got to rent a car, and then you're broke by the time you get back. I don't particularly like that. I love a self-contained RV because the only thing you're spending is money on gas, but you're able to stop, see the sights, spend the night in a place that you never thought you would be able to spend the night in. Make your view whatever you want your view to be the next morning when you wake up, or in the evening when you fall asleep. So to me, that means a lot. And to me, that's a vacation. And I have been spending time in my RV with my boyfriend, actually for the last month. We're parked right outside my house, and I absolutely love it. I prefer to be out in the RV than inside the house. I feel a sense of stress-free when I'm inside the RV, and when I'm in the house, I don't know, I just feel a little overwhelmed. But when I'm in the RV, I feel free. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing it. Plus, we're trying to get used to all the vacations that are coming up and that we have to take. So with that being said, my first choice was make sure that you decide on the kind of RV you want, either a Class A, which is the larger one, Class B, which is the smaller van type RV, or a Class C. Now, some Class Cs you can park on the street and in yards and things like that. Mine, I could. It is under 30 feet. However, it would be noticeable if I stay there too long. So a campground probably is preferred. But a van is the right size if you're thinking about going that way. It is a little smaller, but it's great. It has everything in it that you would absolutely need, and it's very discreet. So that's a good idea as well. But if you're thinking about getting a Class C or a Class A, you may want to consider a tow car. And so mine happens to be the smart car, and I painted it, not the smart car, but I painted the RV to match my smart car. So that is the car that'll get us around when we're in other states. And I chose that because the gas mileage on the RV is so much, so the gas mileage on the smart car is a lot less. And it works out wonderfully when you're vacationing and exploring and things like that. The only downside to that is my smart car only seats 2 people. So if we have another couple with us, we probably will not bring the smart car, and we probably rent a car for the day or the weekend or however long we are vacationing. And that's okay, because that's not something that would happen continuously and all the time. So that would work out. We are planning a vacation this weekend coming up, and we'll have another couple with us. So we probably will not bring the smart car. The other thing is you want to think about, if you're going to get a tow car, how you're going to tow it. Particularly, I was back and forth. You can see some of my videos on what I want to do, how I want to do this. Come to discover that my Class C will not piggyback tow my smart car, even though the smart car is very little, but it is heavy. It's about 1,800 to 2,500 pounds. So instead, I decided to tow dolly it. And they did say that you could put the smart car on all fours and have it behind your RV, but I was a little skeptical about that. I wasn't sure. So I decided to get a tow dolly for my smart car, and I found a great deal on Craigslist. The tow dollies were very expensive when I was looking at them. They were anywhere from $1,600 using my Good Sam's Club membership or more. And I just did not have that kind of money. So I took my time and searched Craigslist, and I found someone in the city over from me that was selling a tow dolly that they used for their RV for only $600, and it came with the straps. So no, actually he was selling it for $700, but we negotiated it down to $600, and the straps I got along with it. And I was absolutely just very happy about that purchase, and it looks great. I'll show you some pictures at the end of this. The other thing you want to think about is that I'm struggling with right now is an inverter converter. Right now, my lights are hooked up to the battery. So if the batteries are fully charged, I can still use the lights in the RV for a short period of time. However, when you're driving, or if I'm parked and I'm not plugged in, I cannot use the TV. So I would like the TV to be hooked up to the battery as well. And so I may need to I have 1 deep cycle battery, but I'm going to get 2 more. And then I need an inverter converter to transfer how the TVs are being hooked up now. So that way people that are riding with me can actually sit back here, watch TV while I'm driving and getting us to our destination. So that's something you want to think about. It's a very tedious process. And so if you don't get an RV that already has that done, just expect that to be a little bit of a headache and a little bit costly. I would say anywhere from $500, or I'll say $300 to $1,000 it could be. The other thing you want to think about is solar panels, and that could be spendy as well. However, but if you're boondocking, dry camping, camping out at friends' houses, and you don't want to hook up to their power, solar panels is absolutely key. Start out with a smaller one and then add on later. My quote was $800 that I got for the actual solar panel system. It was 160 watt, and then I could add on to that later. So I have that appointment set up, which I might change to get me more into August because there's some other things I want to do. But solar panels is very, very key, and it helps you to be self-sufficient. And I want to join this wonderful club, RV club called Harvest Host, where you can camp out for free at museums, wineries, and all of those things. And you can pay a yearly membership of about $45. And so I would like to join that. And you have to be self-contained and self-sufficient in your RV. And solar panels would be absolutely a must for that. The other thing I want to talk to you about is mobile Wi-Fi system. If you need to be hooked up to Wi-Fi, if you need to be hooked up to Wi-Fi for your computer, for uploading videos or anything like that, mobile Wi-Fi is an absolute genius way to do that. I have cameras in my RV where I can watch my dog, so I have 3. I have one in the living room, one in my bedroom, and I do have one facing the outside door. And so hooking it up to my own mobile Wi-Fi system so I could look at my cameras from my phone no matter where I'm at is absolutely important. I could be in a city that I am not at all familiar with, but I want to go explore that city. And so I will be able to do that and also check on my RV, especially if I leave my dogs in here or anything. I mean, everything in here is very important to me. So I would want to be able to check on my RV no matter where it's parked or where it is. So that system allows me to be able to do that. The other piece that is very important as far as having mobile Wi-Fi is if you're a blogger and you're uploading video and things like that, having it hooked up to the mobile Wi-Fi system is important. And if you have video games. So the mobile Wi-Fi system, I'm going to get the 10 gigabytes so that way you can hook up multiple things to the mobile Wi-Fi and still be able to get the internet when you're on the road or no matter where you are. I think that is genius. And it's about $50 a month for the service. The other thing is cameras. So I talked a little bit about the mobile Wi-Fi and the cameras that I have in the RV. But one camera that you absolutely cannot live without is a backup camera. Because every RV is just like a car. So you do have the mirror where you can look in the back. But when you're looking in the back, you're looking at house. You're not looking at anything. So it's really redundant to have that mirror. But I think it's protocol, so you have to have that. But having a backup camera on your dash is absolutely necessary. Especially if you're towing a towed car, you want to be able to see it and kind of what's going on with it back there. You don't want to lose your car. And then you want to see if people are riding too close to you as well. So a backup camera with night vision is absolutely a must. And that doesn't cost a lot either. I would budget probably between $300 and $600 for that. The other thing is the inside renovations to your RV. You really want to make it your own. I purchased mine from an 80-year-old lady, and it did look like something that she would absolutely love, but she kept it so clean and so neat and so nice. I could see the vision of what I could do to renovate it. And now I have done that, and I made it my own, and I absolutely love the RV, except for the ceilings. I got to redo those, but I absolutely love it. It's comfortable, and it's all me. The other part is re-roofing. You probably want to do some more rubber coating on your roof. I have not done that yet either, but I'm going to before the solar panels get up there, because that is absolutely important. You want to make sure your roof stays in good shape, especially with all the elements and it's sitting outside and things like that. So that's very important. And then the essentials that you have inside your RV, like a microwave, a stove, a fridge, a coffee station. That's even important, especially for me because I love coffee. But if you don't love coffee, that might be something that's not important to you. If you have pets, having a specific area for them is key. So I had my son build that dog kennel underneath the dinette booth, and that absolutely works wonderfully for the pets, especially if you don't want them out and about. Let's say you leave your RV for the day. You cool it down in here, you have your air conditioner on so the pets are good, but you don't want them running around looking out windows and then having people call the police on you saying you're doing pet neglect. That's happened a lot. I watch a lot of RV videos on YouTube, and that has happened to people because people are nosy. You know, you're in a nice RV and they're thinking, oh, if they're not familiar with an RV, that this is like a house, they're thinking you're leaving your pet in your car and it's hot outside or too cold outside. And so they're really nosy. So anyway, having a kennel for your pet is an absolute smart thing to do. And you probably want to put them in the kennel when you do leave your RV for the day. Unless they won't get in the windows, but you never know. Anyway, the other piece is a counter space in your kitchen. I mean, that's just kind of, it is what it is. You're living in a tiny house. An RV is an absolute tiny house. Now, there are some big, massive RVs, and those are great. If you can drive them. I prefer this size, a Class C. To me, 29 feet is big enough. But however, some prefer bigger, and that's fine. But it is much smaller than a house. So you have to learn how to utilize your space. You have to learn how to double up on things and know that some things need to have multiple use. And you have to have a place for everything. So organizing your RV and keeping it clean is absolutely a must, because there's no way you can go without keeping it clean. And I have my kitchen as an example, something that I need to get to ASAP, because that will be a disaster if I let that go that way. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is heating and cooling. In the wintertime, RVs can be way too cold, and in the summertime, they can be way too hot. So I did have a fireplace added to my RV, and I also have, you know, the normal heating system in here, but sometimes that's just not enough. So a space heater would be good, or idea. So think about what works for you and in the RV that you're going to choose. And also in the summertime, it gets super hot in an RV. So you want to make sure you have adequate heating, such as an air conditioner. I don't know if you've seen an early video of the fans that I had purchased, but I'll talk to you a little bit on this. Okay, so I went to the store Target and I purchased a couple of fans. And these fans are absolutely great because they're the clip-on fans. And I wasn't sure if they were operated by battery or if this was something that was operated by plugging it in. And I did learn once we opened up the box, it is a plug-in type of fan. But they're absolutely wonderful. And so we have one over here. If you can see it right there, clipped on. And it has two settings on that fan. And it absolutely works wonderfully. Now, we do have a bigger fan here that I'm going to figure out a way to mount that up, because my boyfriend absolutely has to have a fan on him at night. I don't particularly care for it, but he does. So I ended up purchasing 4 of these fans. I have one over here by my desk where I do my computer stuff. And I'm actually going to change this out. This is a computer that I brought in from my house. I'm going to actually go and buy a laptop, something much more compact and smaller, and that would work in this RV and that can stay in here all the time. And then I'll put this one back in my house because it's taking up all of my dinette space here. But then, so those are the 2. And then I got to clean this upper cab area. But I stuck the other 2 fans up here because when we have guests, I want them to be comfortable as well. So I'm going to have the other 2 fans up here some kind of way. But here they are. This is what they look like. They're really easy to put together. And then there's the cord. And I want to show you. There's directions. And I kept the directions for the fans. I just felt that it was important to kind of hold on to them. The directions. Actually, you know what? I keep directions for, looks like I keep directions for everything. Not just the fan. So there's a few directions in there. But anyway, this is the direction for the fan. And so it's called a personal clip fan. And so this is the owner's guide. And it kind of tells you how to utilize that. But in an RV, having those clip fans are absolutely wonderful. They are an absolute lifesaver. And I like it a lot. So that is absolutely key. So if you can go to Target now or Walmart or whatever and get yourself some clip fans, do it before they're out of season. Because once they're out of season, you won't be able to get them. And there was only 4 left on the shelf and I got those. So I was very excited about that. So some of these things do go out of season, and I'm the kind of shopper that I like to grab things before they go out of season. So that way I have them. For example, this comforter, this big furry one. I don't know if you guys remember the video when I purchased this, and then I had purchased another one for the living room as a throw. My boyfriend absolutely hates them. However, in the evening, it has been getting really chilly in the RV lately, and that is the first blanket that he grabs. Another thing that he doesn't realize, because he hasn't really been camping with me other than here at the house, is that once you are out camping and we have everything set up outside, our patio furniture and everything, and you have a bonfire going. It does get a little chilly out there, but you do want to be out there in the ambience of the bonfire and just kind of camping and talking to everyone. So having a blanket like that to grab and bring outside and wrap around you is absolutely wonderful. And I learned that when I went camping the first time with my sisters, when we went on a girls camping trip. So all of this stuff I've learned kind of as we went along. I really wanted to make this RV feel more like home. So I kept some of the RV lighting, as you can see in here. This one. But I think these are so ugly. So I had my son redo all of the lights in here, and I did some decorative things on them. But I absolutely love these lights. Now my boyfriend does hit his head on these. So I was thinking about doing ceiling fans instead. But I'm not going to do the ceiling fans. I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I absolutely like it. He just has to be just a little bit more careful. There's always something that you're going to want to do with your RV. I can't stress that enough. It's always going to be something that you're going to see, that you can improve, that you can make better. I know I'm going to be working on these ceilings, the roof of my RV, all of that. But whatever you can do on the forefront, and when you have time to do it, I encourage you to go ahead and do it. Don't put it off. Don't wait, because once you do that, you'll never get around to it. And making it yours is an absolute joy, and it's an absolute must. It'll make things so much easier for you and so much happier and so much appreciative. I am so happy that I purchased this RV, and that it was a struggle when purchasing it, trying to save up the money to purchase and pay cash for it. But I'm so glad that I did it. And then all the renovations that I did and had my son work on, I'm so happy that he did that for me and that we actually got it done. Because in the long run, you know, when you look back on those things, you know, my son is about to go off and get his own place and everything, and he's not going to have time for this. At that time, it worked, and I'm glad we got it done and that we did not wait, because now moving forward, I will be able to enjoy this space and I can do some things to improve and make it better. One of the things that I particularly love is I had got this surround sound back here. Some people say maybe that is silly to get that in an RV. It's such a small space. Why do you need a surround sound? I love things to sound like a movie theater. This TV isn't that big, but it works for this space, and it's just fine for me. And it's just nice. It's nice and cozy when you want to turn the light off back here and just have a little bit of a movie night and have everything else quiet up there. Or if you have friends up there and they're enjoying a movie and you want to be back here having this little, and this was not here before, this door to kind of close yourself off is really, really nice. So just little things like that is very important. Oh, one of the things, let me tell you, speaking of little things, let me turn this light on. Oops. See, I did it the wrong way. There we go. So this door, it has the handle on this side. So you can actually close it all the way from that side. But if you're over here on this side, I mean, you can force it and close it all the way, but it's like that. And you want to close it all the way. It's kind of annoying not to be able to close it all the way. So, just in passing, I was at Menards one day, shopping and looking around. I decided to grab some handles. Just a couple of them. So I grabbed this little handle. And I wasn't thinking about it at the time what I needed it for, but I knew I needed it because I was thinking about it when this happened. And so now I remember. And so what I'm going to do is get this put on and put it on right here. So that way you can just force close this door like that. And you can push it and open it back up. And it works out just fine. So that's what this handle's for. Then I had bought another one, a little bit bigger one. This handle here, this one here. So this is a little bit bigger. And my son was like, well, why did you buy that? I already built something for the over the step cover, a little notch that you can use. Well, you know, when you're older, that sounds good and that's easy for the younger people. But when you're older, you want everything to be convenient. And for those of you that are over 40, like I am, you know that I'm telling the truth. So I got this handle. Here's where we keep the over the step cover right now. I don't use it a lot because my boyfriend is trying to cut back on smoking cigarettes, so he goes outside often, so I really don't use this a lot. But and I think I showed you guys my over the step cover that my son did for me. Let me show you. That's it. Oops, I'm so sorry. My hand was in the way. So that's my over the step cover. He did a little notch right here. This little thing. That's okay. But I would rather have that right there. It'll be easy to lift it up. So he may not like it, but I do. And I'm going to have him do that for me. So that's why I purchased these two things. I knew I had to purchase, and a reason why I did that. You know when you buy things and you're like, why did I buy that? That was silly of me. And then you remember. So anyway, and my son is texting me now as I'm talking to you guys. Because we need to go get a couple parts for my shower that we have to finish. And then my smart car brake lights are out. So I got to go get some bulbs for that. And he's going to put that in for me. He's earning his money. So here's my shower. This is my soap and everything. I love this shower. But the problem was it had a little bitty shower head. So I went and bought this cute rain shower. Because when you're in an RV, you want to conserve as much as possible on the water. So if you have this rain shower in here and you can shower with this, you can get a shower done in 2 minutes. And believe me, you're going to want to, because you're going to want to conserve as much water as possible. Let me show you the shower head that was in here. This little bitty thing. That wasn't working for me. So anyway, I want to get this shower together. My boyfriend has not had yet to use the shower and really see what operationally this RV can do. It's absolutely wonderful. I love it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for bearing with me and watching this video. I'll have a lot more videos coming up for you in the future. We are going to be traveling with this RV. It's going to be wonderful. We're just getting things together right now, but thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your comments in the box below. Tell all of your friends to subscribe if they are interested in getting an RV and want some RV tips and trips and all of that fun stuff. Tell them to subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for subscribing, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.